continue.
The painstaking recovery and desperate search entering its second week. Helene's death toll still climbing, at least 220 people killed, but the number of those unaccounted for improving as crews fan out in hard-to-reach areas. Buncombe County officials now say 75 remain unaccounted for, down from 200, and promising to keep looking.
We know these are hard times, but please know we're coming to get you.
But many areas remaining inaccessible.
That's ABC's Morgan Norwood. An Israeli military official tells ABC they're preparing a significant response to the Iranian missile attack. You're listening to ABC News.
Shop Macy's VIP sale going on now. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So you've got an oil change coming up. You can go farther and save on full synthetic with our oil change special. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Valvoline Advanced Full Synthetic with an STP Extended Life oil filter for just $35.99. Get the parts you need when you need them at AutoZone or AutoZone.com.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Supreme Court reconvenes for a new term beginning Monday. We'll hear cases this term on issues ranging from ghost guns to transgender care for minors. California Governor Gavin Newsom on Friday announced $131 million going to 12 cities and 6 counties to clear homeless encampments from sidewalks.
We're honored to be able to distribute another $130+ million in this program.
The local governments will be held accountable for making it happen, or the money would be withdrawn. The devastation brought by Helene is not just impacting the areas of the South and the people who live there, but also the companies that are based in those areas. That includes the nation's largest supplier of intravenous fluids for hospital and home use.
Though they're conserving IV fluid supplies at Mass General Brigham Hospital in Boston,
people should have a lot of confidence that we are delivering care as normal.
The hospital's Dr. Paul Bittinger.
In some cases where we would have what we called spiked or prepared an IV fluid bag just in case, we're holding back on that so that we don't waste any units that we otherwise may need to use for patient care.
The FDA says it's working with Baxter to get the storm-damaged plant back to production ASAP.
To ABC's Chuck Sievertson, the NFL says there were the fewest concussions this preseason since it began tracking in 2015. League citing rule and equipment changes for the decrease, including the Guardian cap, a cushioned pad worn over the helmet. I'm Brian Clark, ABC News.
Are not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 1021 and AM 1450.
You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here with you in studio. Thank you so much for joining us. Yankton Bucks victorious, 35-0. Almost said 35-7 again from Pierre, but no, 35-0 versus Sturgis last night on homecoming. A very decisive victory for the Bucks, and another big matchup next week up in Brookings. We'll talk about that with the coaches as well. But we'll break down all of the game with all the football coaches. They're all here, all eating delicious Pizza Ranch pizza. And we'll bring them in 2 by 2 into the studio. Also talk all the other Yankton High School athletics. Have some interviews from the Pizza Ranch phone line to play. And looking forward to getting into all of that here this morning. And congratulations also to Miles Kraske for the presentation that was had at halftime of last night. A really special moment, and have the signs, give it if it's plural, but Yankton home of Paralympic medalist Miles Kraske. That's really special. So congratulations to him, and nice job by all those involved in making that happen. Sorry last night on the live stream we couldn't play the audio of that presentation. I understand some people were upset. Hey, FCC, play licensed music over the air, especially on YouTube. They will pull that down very quickly. But congratulations again to Miles Kraske and to all the Yankton Bucks for their big victory last night at Crane Youngworth Field. We'll talk all about it coming up here on the Coach's Corner, which is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. We'll be back here on the Coach's Corner, KYNT and KYNTV.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here I think is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain? Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation. We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best. Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered. Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
All right, welcome back into the studio. Bryce Ladwig here, Coach's Corner, being joined by Coach Brady Muth, Coach Justin Olson. Coaches, congratulations on a big victory last night versus Sturgis for homecoming. Not only is it just a big victory, but it's homecoming, so just add 100% more importance to that, right, for the town. That's a big deal.
100 times over.
For the 100th homecoming.
Yes.
Exactly. And where do we even start? I guess usually we just kind of get opening thoughts. So Coach Muth and we'll get into more detail, but it's kind of 30,000-foot view.
Yeah, interesting game. Just, kind of taking a step back and reflecting, I'm definitely a guy that feels pretty rosy after a win. I get excited about winning, and it's fun. So it's sometimes I look at a game maybe with a little bit harder slant than maybe I need to. But I think looking back at the game here now that we've got a chance to kind of catch our breath, I think, we were in just before talking about stats and going through things, and talked to Coach Rosie this morning, and it's one of those things where we were in a running clock situation and nobody was satisfied. And that's exactly where we want them to be. But man, our defense, I don't want to steal the headlines, but we held them down, right at 100 yards, a total offense. We pitched a shutout. Offense executed. Quarterback was good for, threw for over 150, ran for 150. There's a lot of good things there. So I think maybe from the 30,000-foot view is we won a football game and we should be happy about it. We've got to maybe find a little bit more joy in what we're doing. We want them to be businesslike and driven, but it's a game. We need to have fun.
Yeah, and I like to get like the quote unquote negatives out of the way first.
Yeah.
So just a couple of things. So obviously the offensive line was really challenged all game.
Mm-hmm.
They did step up and they succeeded, but that was Sturgis's really nice defensive line.
That and Sturgis completely overcommitted to stopping our run.
Yeah.
Sturgis was not going to let Evan pop off and get loose, and
Kind of
so
went all in on it.
Yeah, and so there was a lot of times the defense either had just a one high look, or the defense was flat. There were no safeties, and in certain situations we've just got to take what they give us rather than sticking to that run. That part of that phase of the play. You started to see Easton get a little bit more comfortable with the game plan as we got in there. So you started seeing him get into the second phase of the read where there was maybe a bubble off of a run. But then in the third quarter, you started seeing him taking the gift phase of it, which is the pre-snap, which is before you even get into the run. So there's a pre-snap gift, and you can take that whenever you want in a lot of our plays. And you started seeing him do that. So, Sturgis's game plan was to stop our run and to force us to throw the football, or to get our quarterback involved in the run game. And I thought Coach Huber did a really good job of that was one little adjustment we made, was Easton was going to have a little bit more carries because we needed one more hat in the box because of what they were doing with their run defense, and then throwing the ball and shifting what phase we were starting to play in. And so all of those things, I think, speak to a team that is developing. I think we got punched in the mouth and our nose got bloodied a little bit, but we answered, and that's kind of the story of the game.
And you're never going to get rid of them completely, but some penalties kind of seem to help kill some drives early. But then eventually got corrected.
I'd be okay if we got rid of them completely. There was, some of those are.
If you do, that would be a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, some of them are just sloppy plays. Some of them, like I said, the procedure, the false starts, those types of things really drive me nuts. Holding's going to happen every once in a while. I thought from that aspect, the in-play penalties were cleaned up. They're the easy ones that we need to get fixed, and that's what's so maddening.
Yep. All right, Coach Olson, defense. Hey, no points. Congratulations.
No points, and we're done. All right.
Let's start with wherever you want to start. I want to start with the secondary. Did an excellent job in coverage. Miles Drossman was challenged. I don't know what they saw on film. They wanted to challenge him all night, but he kept stepping up all night and making that a mistake on their part. And then Matt Grotenheis with the interception as well. However you want to take it from here.
Yeah, well, I'll just go, from, their perspective of maybe on film, they're just, we're going to pick on the sophomore. And what they don't know is that he's a very athletic sophomore. And he did a very good job. Even on one play, he comes over and said, yeah, I stopped my feet a little bit, but he was fast enough to recover and made a great, that as a former, DB myself, that play where you rake the hands right when that ball comes in and knock, that's really exciting. That pass breakup there. Not exciting as the pick six, but which, I thought he was going to have one of those too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's developing nicely. And then the secondary as a whole, I think they took another big step, and that's kind of what was our focus this past week and throughout our games, is try to fix the little things. As we talked before, there were little inexperienced, and they did a lot a lot better. I think one play that sticks out in my mind is Kale Hazelhorse came up and he broke on a play. He ended up knocking it down, and he comes back and says, that's the one I've been picking off in practice. And so he's starting to finally figure it out. And once we do, that secondary solidifies themselves, it's going to be a really, really fun defense to watch, and we'll get even more turnovers. And then Mac, of course, he's just a motor that just doesn't stop. And he just kept on following that play, and he made one heck of a pick off that deflection, and he was rewarded for his hustle, which he does in practice. He's on a scout team. He's all over the field, and so his hustle plays definitely paid off for him as well.
Yeah, and then Ness obviously did a nice job back there as well. The linebackers, man, I just wouldn't want to be running back, looking down to see Matthew Sheldon and Bryce Krall, two of them, the tandem.
Yeah, they're an intimidating force, and that was one of our focuses. Is if kind of like Sturgis, if we wanted to force them to pass, we want to stop everyone's run. I mean that's just kind of the focus of any defense is stop the run, force them to pass, and with those two guys back there, it's fun to watch them fill, and then even scrape and flow to the football. And I think our defensive line, in fact, played one heck of a game.
Yeah.
They didn't. A couple times they got a little deep, and they got they kind of got position blocked, and the ball carrier ran underneath them. But for the most part, on the edges too. I mean, at least coming along. We're trying to.
Had a sack last night?
Yeah, and so he's just trying to still get some things figured out, and it's a work in progress. So when Coach Muth was saying, 35, 0 running clock, and no one's really satisfied. Well, defense wanted to get back out there because hey, we want to still go, and it's like, all right, let's enjoy this. I mean, you guys, this is your homecoming, but they want to get out there and keep on playing, and that's what's fun about this group. So defensively, yeah, I mean it's fun. Right at 100 yards. Kept them at bay, and that was fun. It was a fun night.
Yeah, Lucas Cordell had a big play, not a snap. I remember he had a big pressure, right?
Yeah, and even in the run game too, he stepped up, and it was fun to watch all those guys contribute, which we're gonna need, going down the road, is just kind of filter some of those guys in, especially those two-way players. Yeah. And I thought even kids like Ben Bowman and Drace Gaskins got in there at the end, and
Cale Gary and Jake Bivens on the edge.
Yeah.
We had, we've got some talent is a little bit dinged up, and so just rolling guys in and not really having too much drop off from like that. That's what we talked about though at the start of the season. We got our ones, and then we got kind of our 1 and
1As, and that's with Peyton Eustace, and then we're working Easton Feeser down there because that's enough. We want to get our best 11 on.
Well,
the football
notice
field.
I never call them twos when we're talking about this. I always say the depth players,
right?
Yeah, that's the depth.
Yeah,
and
heck
it's nice you were able to get them reps last night. So that was really nice. Offensively, Easton Nelson had a pretty decent night. 5 touchdowns.
It's great. I mean, and Easton maybe epitomizes this game better than anything. I mean, Easton was not happy with his performance for most of the night, and I know there were some things where we stubbed our toe a little bit and got knocked down a couple times. I knew he probably his completion rate he probably wanted higher. Obviously not happy about the 2 picks and all of those things, but let's just pause everything here and look at what's going on. He really did execute and operate. He did exactly what he needed to do in that situation. He had to get involved in the run game, and he did. He answered that bell. He had to get more involved and get the ball to the perimeter quickly, and he answered that bell. And so the thing with E that I think, when I say he epitomizes or personifies so much of where we're at right now is, I mean, this is a team that has very high expectations and on their own accord. And Easton's no different, and he's just trying to figure out how to be a starting quarterback at this point in his life. And right now he's maybe one of, if not the best quarterback in our division. And so, to me, that tells us that maybe we need to take pause for a minute and just look at what we've got and let's celebrate this a little bit, because things are gonna get tough here. And I mean, the last stretch for us is very important. And so we can't go into these high pressure situations letting pressure affect us. We have to go into these high pressure situations getting comfortable with it, because it's only going to get tighter as we get moving further on down the line. And so we've got to go and start playing fast. We've got a big game in front of us going up. Brookings feels really good about themselves right now, and they should. And so we've got some business to take care of.
A big receiver play last night. I'm going to name all like 18 guys that got receptions, but Carson Ness, a big touchdown grab in the end zone, and a really big reception in the middle of the field for like 40 yards or something. It was crazy. Connor Slava, another solid performance, moving the chains. Cohen Zarbach almost had a touchdown. One of those throws that Easton wants back. Obviously, he was open in the corner of the end zone. By the way, how hard of a throw is that to make?
That was so. Part of the problem is you know, on one of those picks for sure. You know, Easton, he shouldn't even been on that side of the field. It was designed to go one or the other, and he should have took the other. And he knew that when he came over, and he was upset. And I get it. Yeah, we want you to fix those things too, but you got to keep your eyes up. And that is what, by the third and fourth quarter, you know, we didn't want to punt. Our Coach Huber's expectation is that when we get the ball, we score every possession, which is a hard standard to live by. So then when they come off the field on a punt, you know, other coaches say if you punt, that's not really such a bad thing, especially if you're from Iowa. But with the way that they're executing, the way that they're operating, I mean, to be able to come over and go through the data that you just got off of that series and say, okay, this is what we got to fix, and have the guts to go fix it. That's what we're doing right now. And so that in and of itself is progression just in development as a whole team. And you can see it with Easton. You can see it with our offensive line, our perimeter guys, just the adjustments they're making.
All right, I'm going to talk to Huber more about the run game, some specifics I want to get into it with him. I'm going to try to get you guys into film, but Brookings next week, and big game for a lot of different reasons. Coach Olson, what are you seeing from Brookings offense? I know you already been looking.
So, I mean, we know what they're going to do. They have a big offensive line, and they're going to try to run the ball. I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of like Sturgis, you know, and you know those teams that we had, you know, already, Watertown. They're going to just try to just man on you and go and try to push you around a little bit. So then their quarterback, you know, he's fairly athletic too. So we have our hands full, our work cut out for us. So we just got to make sure that we focus on the run game first, because I'd rather stop that and then force them to pass, kind of like we talked about, you know, and then take our chances there. And but like I talked before in the locker room, we need to be even more disciplined on defense. You know, we kind of gave them some yards, but with those silly penalties, you know, those jumping off sides and some of that. So if we can really concentrate on being disciplined, I think it's going to be a good matchup. And our guys are ready. It's going to be a tough matchup, like Coach said. It's really important the rest of the way out, and these guys understand that. But this next one here, you know, like Coach Moose said, I mean, they're feeling real good about their football team, and the record showed, and on film, I mean, there's a reason why, you know, they're in the position that they are, and we just got to be ready to just play physical. I mean, it's going to be a physical game, that's for sure.
You know, outside of Yankton, of course, taking Yankton out of it, I have no idea what's going on in AA right now.
It's pretty wild. It really is. I mean, it's wide open. I think, you know, if you look at the preseason things where people thought people would be, I think a lot of those things are kind of upside down. We're just getting over the halfway mark, so there's still a lot of football to play. But like last night, Spearfish knocks off Watertown. I mean, Spearfish's quarterback was out, so that's an interesting situation. Teed takes care of business last night, but their quarterback is out. So, I mean, there's a lot of situations where teams are playing good football. They're facing some adversity, and we are in our own driver's seat. We control our own destiny. So if we want to take charge and we want to end up where we think we should end up, then we have to go play tough physical football and win some games.
Defensively for Brookings, kind of same question to you, Coach. Just kind of overall.
Their front's problematic. I mean, they've got a big physical front and they play real fast. Their linebackers diagnose quickly, and they're an aggressive defense within their front. On the back end of things, they really like to play things really safe. They're going to be in a 4-high shell for a lot of the time when they're out there, just because they like to keep things in front of them. And so we've got to make sure that it's going to be an out front. We've got to make sure that we can work through, their blitz packages that they send, and then make sure that we give you enough time to break things down, and our receivers understand where they need to be to get open, and take advantage of the things that they give you, because their defense is going to give you some things with the way that they play in. So just pre-snap diagnosis this week is going to be really important so we can get off to a good start.
Well, big victory for the Bucks, the community, and the coaches, and big victory last night for some former coaches for Yankton.
Yeah. So Coach Colpitz is out in Rapid City, and we were kind of talking about this before, and they had a heck of a week. Probably a week a lot of people don't ever really want to go through as far as a coach is concerned, but it was their homecoming. He got his first victory. I gave him a little bit of grief when we talked last night because I said it was 3-0, and I said, well, geez, take the special teams coordinator out of it, because we in our first game together, he went for 2 and didn't check that with me. We got stuffed and didn't get the win and lost by 1. So I give him a hard time about that all the time, but really happy for Coach Colpitz and his staff.
Absolutely.
Getting those guys across the finish line on that. It's pretty cool.
All right, coaches get to film, and again, congratulations on the big victory last night.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce.
Thanks, Bryce. All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
All right, welcome back into the Coach's Corner. And Coach Terry Huber, Coach Brady Hale. Coach Hale got me all flustered now because he brought up the Twins.
I'm a Twins fan, too.
I know. That's just...
We're sharing in the pain.
Start a different podcast. Just start that. All right, Coach's big victory last night versus Sturgis. And so many different directions we could start this with. But let's change it up. Let's start with special teams this time around. And... Kevin Ortiz is a nice job. It's his second game coming in there. Perfect on extra points. Wait, was it? Yeah. It was he missed the field goal attempt. But hey, you know what?
Didn't
that
count.
Doesn't count. So it's still perfect. We're still perfect on field goal attempts this season.
They finally called it.
Yeah. But him and Liam Villanueva and Matthew Sheldon, all of their kicking/punting duties, really excellent job so far.
Yeah, I thought yesterday was our most complete special teams game, and first and foremost, I think our offense and defense put us in good spots to be aggressive or, have opportunities to make plays. Just start with Matthew's punt that was down on the 1 yard line or whatever it was, 1 or 2. I mean, that's a huge play. Obviously, it didn't result in anything necessarily like immediate, like a safety or anything like that. But that's a huge play if you can get a ball down on the 1 yard line. I believe it was Tegan LaCroix that made a nice play down in the ball on the 1 yard line there. So we were happy to execute that one. I thought our kickoff coverage was great all night. And nothing more important there than Liam putting the ball where it needs to be put. And he did a great job all night. We kind of challenged him to, hey, this ball needs to be here. And he's done it. Or he did it last night, and we're hoping to see that, continuation of that going forward. And then Kevin, I'm very happy with that guy. He's just kind of like his attitude is just like, well, he's gonna get it done. He doesn't put too much pressure on himself. He just goes out there and it's like, well, I'm gonna put the ball through the pipes and then we're gonna go play the next play. So
and being a lefty, did that really kind of mix things up when you first joined?
Oh yeah, I gotta give a huge shout out to Tate Bestie because he's been holding for a right-footed kicker for a month.
Literally everything is backwards.
Yeah, and he's done a great job flipping that around. I mean, that's not easy to do. It's completely different. Your legs are different. Your hands are different, and
he's been flawless.
It's awesome to see, and that's just a credit to his athleticism. And then also Cale Gary last night was tricky they had a little different rush than we've seen. It was potentially illegal running into Cale, our snapper, but they called one later in the game. But he was having to deal with that, and he was throwing dimes back there to the holder. So just overall, really happy with everything that happened last night.
And the first game of the season, Cale Gary had some bad snaps, and but those have been cleaned up, and he's been solid so far.
Right? Yeah, he's a kid like we were like, well, just being coaches, like, do you need to get another person ready? And we were like, no, let's give Cale another shot. And he threw another great snap, and then we're like, well, Cale, are you ready to go? Can you keep doing this? And he's like, absolutely, coach, I got it. And that's just like, that's all you need to hear as a coach. And you're like, all right, you got it, we're good to go. So, and he's taken that and run with it. He's done a great job. That's a big time position there because, like you said, if you snap one over the head in the wrong situation, I mean, that's a big momentum play in the other
you see that like
direction.
Once a game from your opponents, it seems like there's always just one that goes over the head or something that could change an entire game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think we've all kind of over the last couple of weeks, especially, I've got complete trust in him to execute every time. So just awesome to see, like you said, from the start of the season being a little shaky to now being rock solid.
And then the con man, Connor Slava, nice return duties last night. And sometimes it's 10 yards, 11 yards, but like, those are always hard fought. He's just so quick. He gets that ball out of the air, and he's already 2 yards downfield.
Yeah, he does a great job. I thought last night especially we had a lot of, at least punt return-wise, we pressured a lot, which obviously results in less guys blocking for him.
Yep.
So for him to get any yards.
He doesn't need them.
Yeah, I know he doesn't. He'd say the same thing. He's like, just give me the ball. But, yeah, for him to just catch it and get yards on our pressure look is awesome. We'll take that all day. Like you said, I think overall that unit did a great job. I'm sure Coach Huber would say we want those yards. We want to gain those yards on offense, but we'll give Connor those yards.
I'm all for good yardage there.
Well, speaking of offense, was it what you expected, Coach Huber, last night as far as balance between pass and run, kind of the ratio that you were expecting, or did you change it up?
I thought for the most part it was. Coming into this game, we've had back-to-back rushing games that have been really good. So in my head, if I'm a D coordinator, I'm coming after that run. I'm going to see how the pass game can turn out. And I thought our guys stepped up pretty well. I was just looking at stats a little bit ago, and we got 6-7 receivers on there with multiple catches, and that's a big deal that we can spread it around that much. And it makes it a lot harder for their DBs. They can't be overplaying, some safeties over the top when you got power on both sides of that offensive line. So I thought last night they really rose to the occasion, and it was balanced enough for me. I don't ever say I want it 50-50. Last week I think we were sitting at like 70, like a 75-25 run to pass, and then but in previous weeks we've been the opposite way with pass to rush. So I just love the fact that our team is able to they can take what is being given to them, and there's no selfishness about it. Obviously everybody wants the stats, that's just how football is, but they want the win more, and that's what's most important.
Yeah, Muth said they Sturgis kind of sold out for the run,
yep.
and they did a nice job of really slowing that down, which brings me to my point. So Evan Sirk, getting stopped at the line, he had nowhere to go.
Yep.
A lot of the game, but eventually you brought in the two blocking backs, kind of that new formation we've seen from last night. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so just a double tight eye, with an extra fullback in the backfield. It's a fun power eye package. The guys
I'm still
really
trying to come up with a nickname for it.
Yeah,
I'll keep you to.
Excuse me. Our guys really enjoy that. They know that it's kind of a tough package, and to be on that package for those guys, I think it means something to them. It's it's just we put some of our toughest guys out there and a few bigger bodies, and they get after it. They know that their job is to pick somebody and hit them, and that's a great time when that's your only responsibility is to pick them and hit. And so it's a fun package.
What do you think about the buck truck?
The buck truck, I like it. Let's go.
There you go. Evan Sirk, though, when he was able to get some room, able to get some yards, that's what you would come to expect from him. Jason Lachik got in last night, got some carries near the end of the game, and he's been really doing really well in some varsity. And, of course, Ethan Nelson finding his running lane. Some designed, some obviously just making it happen on his own. But just talk about Easton Nelson and 5 touchdowns last night. And that's pretty good night. And I think while you're talking about this, Coach Hill, you're going to have to dip out, and that's fine. So thank you, and congratulations, Coach Hill.
Absolutely. Thanks, Bryce.
All right, but Coach Nelson.
Yeah,
Easton Nelson, Coach.
Yeah, so the nice thing is with, going into this game, I wanted to run a little bit more inside zone. So we had a lot of zone read on. So Easton's got to read man every single time. And then we also throw RPO into a lot of those zone reads. So he's got, obviously just 3 options there. He can hand it off, he can keep it himself, or he's got the RPO pass option on it. And I thought, for the most part, he had a pretty good night of that. There was a little bit of, they were kind of muddying up a little bit. So when they were sending their linebackers through, just kind of threw off the read a little bit. And then he really honed in on it. And you saw how many times he pulled the ball out that was getting big rush yards, which, and they were the right plays. And that's the beauty of it is, I told him before the game, I trust you to make your decisions out there on the field because I know that he's practiced it enough throughout the last few weeks, and he's confident enough to do that. And then throwing that RPO, Slava barely stepped out on that one. Otherwise, he's taking that jailbreak to the house. That kind of stuff is so important to be able to stretch that defense out because they can blitz all they want. That's fine. We have answers for it. We just got to make sure that we capitalize on those answers.
One of these games, Slava is going to have multiple touchdown games because he's had so many times that he's been really close.
It's right there. Yeah.
And every game he's had production, moving the chains and stuff, which is where you want him in that slot. But I am just looking forward to the day that it just really all comes together.
Yeah, that's Hale and Beacom were on the headsets. How's he not getting this one? It would have been a really nice one too. Obviously on homecoming and stuff. But the good thing is a guy like Slava, he's a good spirited guy, and so when I come over and I'm walking by and he's like, Coach, only white shoes from now on, so they can't see the difference whenever I get that close to sideline. Stuff like that is so fun. These guys, they keep positive attitudes and don't get down on themselves because obviously, you're a senior on homecoming. That could have been a really bigger special moment, but I think he understands just how important that play was, and he still made it special. He still is having fun with it, which is awesome.
And Czak, Cohen Zarbuck, had couple more receptions, probably would have had the touchdown, which difficult throw.
Yes.
I talked to Muth about that, but very difficult throw. He said it really wasn't even supposed to be that side necessarily, so underthrew him. It happens. But Carson Ness last night, just doing Carson Ness things, I guess. And I'm more impressed with the touchdown. Sure, it was a nice grab, but the long reception, I can't remember how many yards it was or even when it was. I just remember seeing the ball in the air. But a big one
right on the left side heading west there.
Yeah, break down that play for us a little bit.
Yeah, so we rolled it out a little bit on that play, and the nice thing is these guys, they have landmarks they need to get to when they're on their routes, but Coach Hale and Coach Beacom, they work a scramble drill with the guys quite often, and so they have them prepared. If the play is developing a little too long, those guys know which part of the field they need to get to. Ness did a great job finding that open space so that Nelly could see him, and he's not trailing back so that those DBs can jump in and kind of undercut that football. He did a great job coming back to it and made a big play. That was a huge momentum thing for the offense, and so I was very impressed with that. I thought Ness had a great night last night. I can't remember if he had 5-6 receptions, whatever it was last night, and he had a great night. Six. Yeah, I knew it was somewhere around there. He had a great night last night. Obviously, exciting for him to get that touchdown, on that 100th homecoming game. So I'm really proud of that kid.
I should lie. It's 5. I'm trying to keep it around the It got crossed off. Okay?
I was close.
5 or 6 still
5
works.
or 6 still works. Yeah.
It was really nice to get some depth guys, some reps last night. As that's been the case for luckily for quite a few games so far this season. But those varsity reps, I'm assuming, are just invaluable.
Absolutely. So this week especially, we've been rotating in the 2s and 3s a lot more than we probably have leading up to this point. Just in the understanding of a season really wears on people's bodies, and we want to be as healthy as possible. We also want to be as deep as possible when we get to the playoffs and hopefully make it into that state championship game. Obviously last year Zarbach had that injury, and he was our depth guy at X. We got to be able to have answers for that. And I think right now, starting our preparation now for answers of any possible thing, any possible situation that can happen, whether a guy's playing both ways and is getting a little tired, we need to get him a break, or if we just want to have as fresh of guys every other play. It doesn't matter what the situation is. We want to be prepared for it. And those guys getting in last night and the hard work that they've been putting in all week, that is so important. It's so valuable so that they're not starstruck if they get thrown into the game. And so I'm very proud of those guys for getting out there and just getting after it.
Well, congratulations, a big victory, Coach, last night. Did you get your pizza?
Absolutely. It's delicious.
All right. Hey, go to film and enjoy your weekend, and thanks for joining us.
Yep, and congrats on Sportscaster of the Year. That's a big award. I hope everybody realizes just how much work you put into covering Yankton Athletics. So thank you for that, Bryce.
Appreciate you saying that, and
Absolutely.
have a good weekend. Thank you. All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's two best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, two great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including Weekend Maintenance Technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and continue talking Yankton Bucks football. And Coach Dan Schwab, Coach Blake Savick. Coaches, good morning. How we doing?
Morning, Bryce. Doing well.
All right, hey, big victory last night for the Yankton Bucks, and during homecoming, it just, not to steal from the SEC, but it just means more.
Absolutely.
A packed house last night. It's always a great crowd at Crane because it's Yankton, right? But it's always different when you do look out there and you also see the entire fence line covered with people. So. And I know as coaches, you try not to, notice that. You're focused on the field, but you had to have noticed a little bit, right?
Yeah, it was kind of that, we were just talking in there. It was a really good mix. The weather was really, really nice for a evening football game. Homecoming, you already kind of have the just heightened emotions and feelings around town. And so it was really cool to look out, see a packed grandstand, and then, shoulder to shoulder along the fence was really cool for us and our guys, but yeah, just everybody in general.
Well, who wants to start with sub-varsity? We want to talk JV first, or we want to talk ninth first?
We can do whatever.
Wherever we can, if you want me to
do
go
I have to
first,
get, do I have to get a big coin in here?
No, we can talk some freshmen first if you want.
All right, let's talk freshmen. Bucks lost 37-0 Thursday in T. And I have some stats that are given here, but Jackson Kudera, 6 for 15, 53 yards passing, and Jackson Reichen, 37 yards rushing. Leading tackles, Carson Heck was 7, and then Dominic Stans, 1 sack, and then Cash Llewellyn, great name, fumble recovery. But now that I got all your stats said, we'll talk about the performance.
Yeah. I think this week, and this is part of freshman football, I think it's, again, a learning experience for the guys, just in facing adversity and how we respond to it. It at one point towards the end of the first half, it was still 8-0, and a very still kind of winnable game where if we can get some control back, and I just don't think that we responded quite how we wanted to in the future in this game. But again, that's freshman football, right? You kind of talk through those things and learn from them. If we're getting pressured a lot and our quarterback's having a tough time getting it out of his hands, how do we adjust to that? How do we communicate with each other up front? Defensively, if, they're kind of getting outside of us on the run, again, how are we talking to each other, using each other as teammates and making those adjustments? So I think that we kind of fell short in that area for sure on Thursday, and just the communication and playing together a ton, but something that, again, we'll talk about and address and kind of try and learn from and move it going forward, because we've absolutely seen a better version of ourselves this season, and the guys know that, and so we'll just kind of have those conversations, figure out where we kind of went astray this week, and we'll regroup and try and rally for our last 2 weeks.
Well, like you said, is that you want to win, of course, but that's the whole point of sub-varsity, all the way 9th, JV, all the way up. Take your lumps and get those learning mistakes out of the way, so that by the time hopefully you get to varsity, you have most of that smoothed out, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they're at a point now where if you're kind of deficient in a certain spot or position, you kind of have what you have, and as we continue to go up, you can join with the other classes above and below you. And so just those guys understanding that too, that we're continuing to work and build, depth and skill, but also just learning the Buck football way, what it means to be a part of our program, how we respond to these situations, and just how to carry ourselves, whether we're up by a lot on the scoreboard or down. And so this week was just one of those weeks where we really take a lot of that away from it.
All right, what's next for 9th grade football?
We are at home this week against Watertown, and then we finish out our season at Sioux City East. So 2 weeks left. They're going to go quick, and just trying to get the guys to enjoy the last 2 weeks together.
Well, you didn't want to travel back to Watertown Stadium?
No.
Not a big fan? Well, Coach Schwach, JV, 42-12 win versus T on Monday, and I'm going to let you take it wherever you want to go from there, but 6-0. There you go.
Yeah, always fun to get a win against T, especially up there. Windy day, and similar to last night, I mean, proportionally, we always have a great fan base that travels with us. I mean, I'm always shocked by how many parents and fans or friends are in the stands, so I always appreciate that. Usually our visiting crowd's louder than the home team, so it feels like a home game, but yeah, offensively, it was a windy day, so they kind of always load the box. It's T doing T things, so Tegan was able to get a couple deep passes off, Tegan LaCroix. Ivan Hirschman caught a couple. Abe caught his probably guaranteed one. I'd have to go back and look. I feel like he might have a guaranteed one in every game. And then Carter Boonsma got one on offense and defense, and Jace kind of went in for his usual rushing touchdown. I mean, not making light of their accomplishments. It's just, it seems usual.
You're used to saying it, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of, I don't have to, some of the stats, I just have to kind of change the yardage for those guys. So they've been having a great year, playing hard, working hard. I mean, you're seeing it with Jace. He's just really turning into a good runner and excited for his future prospects. Defensively, couple picks for Carter Boomsma and Jolton Remnants on one apiece. Ivan Hirschman got a blocked punt. It's fun to see those two because we see that at the varsity level, and it's just kind of where it starts, and those guys get to learn. The tackles, and if it looked like I was zoning out a little bit ago when you were talking, Coach Savvy, I apologize. I don't think there's any way we had 75 tackles in the game. I don't think they ran 75 plays. That's not very good defensively. So I will say our managers, Christian
Everyone
Weir,
was credited with the tackle.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Weir and Ethan Marsh as managers, I mean, we are spoiled. I think they got rid of the All-State managers. Those two would be shoe-in first-team All-State managers. I'm guessing they were busy, or I think it was Christian with us, was busy tending to other needs of the team, and somebody got the hold of the stat sheet and just said anyone that was near the play got a tackle. But Jace Sedlacek was in on a lot of plays. I mean, it seemed like he was in on darn near everyone. And Jake Bivens set a fantastic edge. Got a sack along the way. Carson Krall, I think same thing last week. I think we said he probably had about close to 7, 8, 9 tackles, 2 sacks on the blitz. And Ben Bowman and the D-line, he's getting better and better each week. And then Jolton Remnants on, he's the fun one to watch on kickoff every Friday night. Special teams ace, just plays with so much intensity, and it's showing up on defense. He's learning a few positions and excited for his future prospects as well. So good game, got away, everyone played, no injuries, and got home at a fairly reasonable time. I think our choir, we have 5 or 6 linemen on the choir concert. They made the end of their choir show just barely, so that was the last win of the night. So
this is an extra cherry on top, right?
Yep, that was. Yeah, we wanted them to get back, and we were nervous for them, but glad it all worked out.
Norfolk on Monday.
Norfolk on Monday, our last road game of the year. Always fun at the sub-varsity level to play Norfolk. I mean, these guys have.
I was going to say that.
Yeah,
being able to play out of state is pretty.
Yeah, and that's. I mean, so they've played against them since 7th grade. So kind of some of their last times to see Norfolk one last time, and quick little drive. I mean, we've all made the drive. We've all made the drive from Yankton to Norfolk. Not maybe one's first pick for a drive, but hope to get down there and keep learning and hopefully come away with a win.
All right. Well, coaches, did you guys get your pizza?
Oh, yeah. Appreciate that.
Some pizza.
All right. And go enjoy. You guys are heading out to film then?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Better go. I've kept you guys here pretty late today. So.
Nope. That sounds good.
No, I appreciate you guys coming in, and congratulations last night on a big victory.
Yeah, thanks, Bryce.
All right. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Ever try to fit a giant cactus into a box? No? Well, at the UPS store, we've seen it all. Okay, maybe not a cactus, but we've seen a lot, so don't worry. You don't have to be a packing genius. Let the associates at the UPS store handle it. From awkward size objects to important documents, we'll pack it perfectly, ship it safely, and give you peace of mind you need. Whether it's fragile, oversized, well, or just plain weird, bring it to us, and we'll take care of the rest. The UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion, because sometimes packing is harder than it looks.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Corner. Thanks to our football coaches for coming in. Congratulations again to the Yankton Bucks football program for their big victory last night at homecoming over Sturgis. Now we turn our attention to Yankton Bucks golf. Coach Brett Syme joins us in the studio. Coach, good morning.
Morning.
All right, you've been a busy coach as well. A lot of invites and a lot of competition around the state. Most recently, finished sixth in the ESD Conference Championship. That was at the Moccasin Creek Country Club in Watertown on
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen, excuse me. Yeah, and I'll let you go through the results here. But overall, what did you think of the team's performance?
You know, we went up Sunday because we play a practice round a lot of times when we have the ESD, and 5 of our 6 guys had never played up in Aberdeen. So it was good to go up there, but you know, it was a brutal wind on Sunday during the practice round, and we knew it was forecasted for the same kind of thing on Monday, just coming out of a totally different direction. But so it was good to get up there and actually get a practice round, see what that course, you know, has to offer. And I played up there quite a bit, coached up there quite a bit. So, you know, I had some course knowledge that I wanted to try and instill on our boys. But, you know, went out and played Monday. Had a little team meeting on Sunday night. You know, we kind of set a goal, very realistic goal to try and be in the top half of the conference, and ended up just missing out on that. T area beats us by 2 shots to be in that 5th spot. But, you know, we've talked about a lot of those teams that were up at the top all year long. They've been up at the top. You know, Pierre goes and wins with a plus 22, 310 on a horribly windy day. I mean, one of the windiest days I can remember in my coaching career, even maybe my playing career. But and
just that windy.
It was crazy windy. Yeah, I would say probably sustained winds of 25 to 30 out of the north, with gusts higher than that at times. So it was a tough day to play golf. As you look at all the scores individually and team-wise, for the most part, everybody was multiple shots probably above their average, and team-wise, I can guarantee that it was above the average. But, you know, our kids, I think, went out and they really fought hard and tried to do the best they could in the conditions. The first 5 holes that we had to play were going basically dead into the wind, and that's what I said. You guys got to keep, you know, grinding. You got to do that for those first 5 holes, and then you get to turn around and be with the wind for a little bit. And then the back 9 is a little bit different. Not so many holes either with or against, but then you got some side wind, which also poses some problems. But I thought our kids did a pretty good job. You know, our goal was to get 5th. Ended up in 6th by 2 shots behind T area. But we did get 2 all-conference golfers that got into the top 15. Both of them were sophomores. Eli Larson and Kai Cody both went out and shot 83. Easton Velick shot an 86, and Parker Riley shot an 88. I know all of those guys would tell you that, you know, it could have been a little better, Coach, could have been a little better, you know, but I think just about every team could probably say that, especially on a day like that. But it was a tough day to play, and, you know, we talk about trying to get rid of the doubles and the others, maybe higher than that, or, you know, get rid of the 3 putts and things like that. But in that kind of wind, it's just, you know, it's tough, because if you hit a shot that's offline or has a slice or a hook to it, it just makes it that much worse when you're going into the wind. So you really got to try to grind through those kind of holes, and you need to take advantage of the holes when you're with the wind. And I think it just, throughout the whole field, not just our guys, that wind just kind of beat people down. And we were out there for a long time. That wind just made, you know, scores go up. The more shots you take, the longer it takes to play the whole round. It beat a lot of kids down out there, and I would even say the coaches, because I was tired when I got home. But yeah, I think we had a pretty good competition. I know the kids are thinking, yeah, we could have played a little bit better. But, as we were watching the scores come in, I'm like, you know what, guys, even though you weren't very happy with the way you played at points during the round, that goal that we set last night, we almost attained it. So we just got to go work, this last week and really try to cut down on some of the errors that we had maybe in the conference tournament so that we can go have a good state tournament.
You said it was a 2-point difference, right, between the fifth and
Yeah. T area was 348. We were 350, or excuse me, 338 and 340. But, people might look at that and say, oh, they had their worst round of the year, at the conference. And, maybe that's why they finished where they did. But I would say, and it's not an excuse. It's just the way it was. The conditions were that poor. The wind was that hard that everybody's scores were up a bit. I even look at the Watertown score. They've been quite a ways ahead of us most of the year. Well, they only beat us by 10 shots. And if we can play kind of the caliber that Watertown can, we could be competitive, if we go out and do that for a couple days at the state tournament.
Yankton Bucks golfing in a tornado.
It was pretty close.
All right, state tournament on the 7th and 8th in Watertown. And you were just there a course ago, right? Like just a week or so ago.
Yeah, it was the tournament we had before ESD was the Watertown invite. We're hoping to go there, maybe get a little better weather. Maybe the wind won't blow a million like it did on Monday. But, whatever it is, you've got to go out and deal with. Looking at the forecast this morning, when I got up, it looks like we're going to get 2 pretty decent days. But we're going to take off tomorrow morning at 10:30. We got some practice round times about 2 o'clock. And, try and get another look at the course. Most of our guys have played there multiple times. Braden Birkland, our 8th grader, has only played there, I think, just the one time. He may have had one other earlier on, maybe his 7th grade year, but I can't remember. But another look never hurts. And one of the biggest things we want to find out when we get up there is how are the greens playing? Are they hard? Are they soft? Are they rolling fast? Are they a little slower? I don't see it being too big of a difference from what we saw a week and a half ago. But that's going to be one of the big things we look at, and just to really try to figure out some strategy, and maybe for the holes that we struggled on in the Watertown invite. There's a couple of par 3s in a row that we maybe had a little bit of trouble on. We got to think about how can we play those better. And then there's a couple of holes on what they call their red 9 that can be a little tough, and we just have to have some good strategy when we play those holes. And if we can stay away from those double bogeys or higher, and cut down on 3 putts and things like that, anything over 2 putts, we think are kind of wasted shots. If we can cut down on those, we're hoping to be able to compete for, maybe one of those last spots on the podium. That's one of our goals every year going into the state tournament, is try to get in that top 6 so that we can, have Yankton represented up there on the podium.
When you arrive early to these courses, do a lot of other teams also arrive early? So it's like everyone kind of coming at the same time and also getting practice in?
Yeah. I would say
kind of the meet before the meet.
Yeah, pretty much everybody will be there tomorrow playing a practice round. It's just kind of been tradition. Even when I played way back when the dinosaurs were around, we always played a practice round before those big tournaments. Our region tournament, we'd go play one. Our state tournament, we'd go play one, because we want to be the most prepared we can on the course we're going to be playing. So, yeah, it's a little different because we don't usually play 3 18-hole rounds of golf in a row, but it's that time of year, and here we are in the postseason, and before long, it's going to be over. In 3 more days after today, our season's going to be done. So, I hope our kids are in a good mindset, and that's what we've been kind of working on. Get themselves pumped up a little bit, but stay on an even keel, and don't let your heads down. You got to keep your eyes on the horizon and keep that head up and keep plugging away no matter what's going on, because, you look at the scores that we saw at the ESD, a couple of shots here or there can mean the difference between placing in one spot and another, even though there's 300 plus shots in a round. When you add 4 scores together, it's kind of crazy that way. But you got to try the best you can on every shot, and I think if our kids do that, we'll have a chance to do what we want to do.
Yeah, and I don't have to tell you this, but that went by fast.
It does go by fast.
Yeah, so best of luck to you and the Yankton Bucks up at State in Watertown. And as always, thanks for joining us, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Today's world is changing and you need your general liability plan to change along with it. If you're a business owner, give me, Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates, a call and let's check your policies. Since you're busy running the business, I'll do all the legwork, so feel free to call, email, or stop down 124 Walnut Street in Yankton.
Are you new to Medicare or turning 65 soon? Have you met IRMA? Who's IRMA? IRMA is an additional Medicare tax that comes into play based on your tax filing income. Let's chat today to see if you'll be meeting IRMA in your Medicare future. Missouri River Associates.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig in the studio. And let's start talking Yankton Gazelles volleyball. Yankton fell in 4 sets to Sioux Falls Jefferson at home on Tuesday, 18-25, 25-21. They took that set, 6-25 and 20-25. Coach Taylor Stacy caught up with Braden Butler in that post game. Go ahead and play that interview for you right now. We'll try that again and play that interview for you right now.
Bring in head coach Taylor Stacy. Coach, it's a 3-1 loss to the top team in the class, an undefeated Jefferson team that had only dropped 6 sets all season, and you were able to take your first set victory over the Cavaliers since, I believe, 2021, 25-21 in set 2. What are your initial thoughts coming out of that match where you don't get the win, but you were hanging tough with the top team in the class?
Yeah, I'm extremely proud at how well our girls played. They came out strong right away. They competed. We were going back and forth in that first set right away, and we were able to take that second set. And the girls they played well together. They communicated well together, and they did not let up one bit. They wanted that set, especially the second one, and they did a nice job working together tonight.
In the past, we've talked about how you want your team to start fast out of the gate, and outside of set 3 where Jefferson just seemed to get on the ball early and pull away, I think you took the lead initially in the 3 other sets. So that was big, getting out of the gate hot again today. Just how has your team kind of taken that directive? Obviously, it worked well today, able to take a set from the top team in the class.
Yeah, the girls have been really working hard on getting a good start, and I mean this group of girls is extremely coachable. They listen and they work hard, and they tried my advice, and they work together, and they even give each other advice on the court, and so they do a nice job communicating and having high energy, and that's what helped us take the lead in each of the sets.
What I liked to see from the Gazelles say, obviously the fight out there on the floor, taking a set against Jefferson, hanging tough, and every other set, it was not one player making all the plays. I know you run a 2-setter system. By my count, Kaylee Llewellyn ends up with 14, Elena Nelson ends up with 12. In the kill department, Gracie's your team leader. She had 7, but you had a couple more with 5 with Olivia in Berkeley. You had 4 from Bella Kerner, 3 more from Jay Jerry. You had a good distribution of different players making plays. How important is that for you to not have one player that's always feel the need to always set up the same player? You can go anywhere and get points.
Yeah, it definitely, as a coach, makes me feel more confident in all my players, especially at the attacking front, and it also helps the opposing team. They don't know who we're going to attack, and they don't know who we're going to set up, and they don't know what our hitters are going to do, and so it's spread out, and it helps us going against the opposing team. It's a nice feeling that we have so many girls that are willing and able to make plays and contribute to our team.
And of course, the service game as well. You had 8 aces as a team by my count there. Coach, it feels like the last couple times we've brought up how busy the Gazelles have been. You get some time off here, if I remember correctly. So how are you going to spend these next couple days off, as I believe it's a week or even over a week before your next match? And then also give us a preview of what you got in the future.
Yeah. Well, this week we'll get a little bit of rest, and I know it's homecoming week for us, and so the girls will have some fun, and we have some fun things planned for practices wise. But we're also going to keep focusing on being smart at the net and lessening our mistakes, and that's what the girls did a great job of tonight, and so we're just going to keep on working on that. We're going to keep on working on consistent serve receive, and so when we do get to those tough servers, we can find a way to rotate out of it. But otherwise, the girls are going to get worked hard, but hopefully get some rest as well. I know next week our next match is on Thursday, and so we'll be working hard to get that, and that's our Dig Pink night, our Gazelle Strong night, and we'll just be working hard there, and we'll hopefully start strong just like we did tonight.
Well, it should be a good one coming up next week, next Thursday. So over a week off for your Yankton Gazelles, some much-needed rest for a team that has been a couple dog fights out there, so to speak. But they've had a good one tonight, even though it ends up 3-1 in favor of Sioux Falls Jefferson. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to us, Coach Stacy, and hopefully we can catch up with you again in the future for more Gazelles games.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks to Coach Taylor Stacy joining Braden Butler in our post-game from Tuesday. And I always appreciate coaches taking the time to get us all caught up. When we come back, let's talk Yankton Bucks soccer with Coach Dean Hansen, our final interview of the season with Coach Hansen. And that'll be coming up right here on the Coach's Corner as I buy time to make sure I have commercials loaded. Yes, we do. We're good to go. All right, we'll be back right here on KYNT and KYNTV.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here, I think, is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here in studio. Coach's Corner powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Yankton Bucks soccer being joined in the studio. Coach Dan Hansen. Coach, good morning.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I am doing it just fine. Ready for a football-filled weekend in my
There we
house.
go.
Yeah, so Vikings are on a roll. Right?
Yeah.
Are you an NFL fan?
Not a huge one. Used to follow Tom Brady and the Patriots, but then once he retired, kind of lost a little bit of interest. So
Give me a moment to talk to you about the Minnesota Vikings. I'll let you join my cult.
okay, sounds good.
So, all right. Well, obviously the Yankton Bucks soccer season has come to an end. Aberdeen last Saturday lost on the road, finished with a 2-11-1 record.
Yeah.
Obviously not the way you wanted it to end, but I'm sure in the grand scheme of things, having slept on it now, there are positive takeaways to every season, no matter the end result, including the Yankton Bucks.
Yeah. So JV definitely improved. So starting to lay a good foundation there for future varsity players. So always want to start with building a solid foundation. So the young kids are looking. They're going to be pretty salty by the time they're juniors, seniors. So lots of good things there. We bring back a lot of juniors from this year. So, we'll have a pretty decent squad next year. So
There's a lot of talent coming up, and then also a lot of returning experience.
yes, yep. And experience is key. And then having, obviously, ability is also very important.
It's pretty nice to have, right?
Yeah, it's nice to have. So
let's talk about your seniors a little bit. Obviously, you have quite a big handful of them and what they've meant to this program.
So, this is my first year with the program, so I don't have 4 years of experience with the guys, but they were awesome. So Mitchell was a captain this year. He filled in quite nicely from a leadership standpoint. When we did voting for captain, he had the most votes, and clearly he was the one keeping things organized during preseason, making sure everybody was doing what they were supposed to. Fantastic kid there. Aiden, he played a little bit of everywhere. Very nice kid, quiet. Zach, workhorse, fantastic kid. Lemmy, he's a goofball. I'm going to miss him. He's always smiling, giving high fives, and that kind of kid. We also had Kevin, Chavez, and Griffin. Griffin played JV most of the year. He was a kid that took a lot of time off and then decided to come back, I think, last year. So, when you take a lot of time off, maybe you miss out on developing and stuff like that. But fantastic kid there. And then Kevin Chavez, he's another goofball. A good work rate when he's on the pitch. He played more JV than varsity, but he stepped in to varsity the last 3-4 games and gave great effort. Probably should have given him more minutes earlier in the season. So,
Well, sounds like a lot of good personality on the team.
A lot of good personality on the team. So,
all right. Well, as you enter into the off season, kind of what was your closing message to the team and those returning players for what you kind of want them to work on? Kind of what was just the general message?
So we went through player evals. So for a lot of kids, that was new to them, individual player evals at the end of the season, giving them some feedback, taking their feedback as well on things that they want to improve in, and also just getting some general feedback on, my own performance and from their eyes. If I'm going to ask them to improve, I'm going to also try to improve as well as a coach. So I think that's the only fair thing to do there. And then we did some unit review work and then some team review work. So we just set some goals on, what will next season look like if we want to be successful, and what do we have to do in the off season to prepare for that. And it's a lot of getting in the weight room because we do need to build some strength. We need to get a little bit faster. But then it's just making sure that our touches are clean, improving technically, and making sure that in the off season, if they're not going to do other high school sports, that if they are going to do club, that it's going to be competitive and, meaningful and impactful. And guys understood that. Guys are bought into that. And we'll see. We'll move forward, turn the page.
Tell them to try to get healthy, stay healthy. Obviously, you wouldn't use it as an excuse, but I'll say it for you. A lot of injuries this season.
A lot of injuries. That I'll use Aberdeen as an example. 4 starters going into that game were out. We lost another starter halfway through the game, and then 2 of our kids that we just had to pull up to get bodies on there, they ended up getting hurt. So we had 7 kids hurt for our final game. So
you went and finished at goalie?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but hopefully next year health it seems like when the injury bug starts going through a team, it just kind of hits everyone, it seems.
Yeah, and that's part of making sure that you're in the weight room. If you're getting your body right, keeping it right, then, hopefully the injuries reduce. So,
big plans this weekend?
I'm going to go see my parents. Haven't seen them in a while.
So where's that at, if you mind me asking?
My parents moved out to Spencer, Nebraska about 4 or 5 years ago. So.
All right. Well, safe travels to Spencer, Nebraska. And also, thanks, Coach, for joining us throughout the year and up in the post games and stuff with Braden.
Yeah.
And
do a better job remembering that's up there.
We'll start yelling at you from the booth.
That's great. Just text me.
All right. Thank you, Coach, and I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
All
you.
right. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Sweet.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner. Let's start talking Yankton Gazelles soccer. Gazelles defeated Aberdeen 1-0 on the road on Saturday to improve to 8-4-2 and are 7th in Class AA as of this morning. There is some Class A games to be played, which in theory could affect what Yankees' matchup will be in the first round of the Class AA playoffs. But it should be a home game this coming Tuesday, opponent TBD. And joining Braden on the Pizza Ranch phone line yesterday was Coach Tyler Schuring, and always appreciate him taking the time to talk to all of us. And yeah, just overall, Braden Butler covers his team, so he was able to catch up with Coach Schuring. Looking forward to that Gazelle soccer. It's going to be quite special. But joins us the Pizza Ranch phone line for the best chicken and legendary pizza. It's Yankton Pizza Ranch.
Braden Butler here for the Coach's Corner. Joining me is the Yankton Gazelles head soccer coach, Tyler Schuring. Coach Schuring, you guys wrapped up your season a week ago now, but the regular season's still ongoing. Looking forward to the postseason here, Coach. We don't have the official first-round matchup yet. That is still being finalized. We'll get on the details there in a minute. But first of all, how are you doing this afternoon?
Yeah, doing well. Like you said, we've had a week off from our last regular season game, so I thought we had a really good week of training, getting prepared for whoever we play on Tuesday.
Just for the sake of clarity, we're recording this Friday afternoon here, and things still aren't 100% finalized. There's some Class A games that need to wrap up before the official playoff matchups are set. As of right now, it would be Brandon Valley as the 10 seed coming to Yankton to take on the number 7 Yankton Gazelles. So you can talk a little bit about them, but I know with everything not being finalized, just what are you expecting from your team heading into the postseason, no matter who you face across from you on Tuesday?
Yeah, the team's hungry. They're chomping at the bit to get back to the games after having practiced for a week here. It looks like the potential is there that we play Brandon Valley on Tuesday. That's a game earlier this year that I think the team thought we let get away. Brandon Valley ended up coming out with a 1-0 win on that game, but I thought that we were the better team of the night. We outplayed them, outpossessed, outshot. They were just very good with the counterattack. And, if that's who we happen to play on Tuesday, that's really the key that we need to focus on. They're a very direct team that likes to counterattack, and they've got some dangerous players up there.
Looking at your team as a whole, it goes without saying that it was a big step forward this year for your girls. You got a new system put in place. All your players get that 1 year older, 1 year wiser, physically developing a little more as they get farther along in their careers. But going from
I believe it was a lower seed last year, right on the edge of the playoffs, now hosting this year from the looks of it. How does that make you feel as a coach watching your team take that big jump, and what are you most proud of for your team taking this step forward?
Most proud of it is just the work and the dedication that all the players have put in really in the last year, but specifically since June when, some summer training started. They had their goals set, and they've been continuing to work and, haven't let a little bit of success go to their heads. They're continuing to fight. They know that they have an opportunity come playoff time, and I think they're going to be ready to go here. We've really kind of developed into more of a possession team instead of a direct counterattack team. We can do both, but, being able to control the ball definitely takes pressure off our defense. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we've seen. Last year we gave up, 36, 37 goals on the season. This year, at this point, we've only given up 15 in 14 games. So, overall, our defensive presence is there. And a lot of that is helped out with just the dynamic play and the possession that our attacking players can put in. So I think that both groups really help each other out. And we've got kind of a younger attacking setup overall and kind of a more veteran defense. And I think they really help each other out.
Coach, some people might be surprised with the step your girls have taken this year. I know as someone who's in the weeds, you work with these girls every day. It might not be as surprising to you or as people who are familiar with the program, but what has been surprising to you this season? What has really impressed you and been that biggest surprise with the step forward the girls have taken?
Yeah, I think the biggest surprise for me is just the way that the team have bought into transitioning to a new formation. After giving up 37 goals this year, and you show up day one and say, hey, we're going to go to 3 defenders instead of 4, you can see the jaws drop, a little bit of confusion. But I think that the early buy-in and the work ethic from the team to really adapt and grow into the formation as quickly as they did was a very impressive for me. And, I just can't say enough of, how the leadership really helped out with that and just continuing to push the team. I would say just adjusting to the new formation has been key for us.
Well, Coach, I'd like to thank you for taking time today to talk to me here, and good luck in the postseason for whoever you guys end up playing. I know nothing's finalized at this time. Once again, we're recording this Friday afternoon. There's some Class A games that need to wrap up still this weekend, but whoever you guys are playing on Tuesday, KYNT and KYNTV will be there, and hopefully we can get a conversation with you after that one.
Sounds great. Thank you for the interview.
All right, thanks to Coach Tyler Sherry joining Braden Butler on the Pizza Ranch phone line. And again, appreciate the time taken there. And also thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing delicious pizza to all of our coaches, and who am I kidding, myself here this morning. And it is delicious, that is for sure. We'll take a break, come back, and let's start talking Yankton Gazelles tennis right here on the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Corner. Thanks for joining us here this morning. We turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles tennis. Gazelles just finished the ESD tournament on the 1st, and I had an opportunity to catch up with Coach Ryan Haig of Yankton Gazelles tennis on Wednesday, and he went over the ESD tournament, also previewed what is coming up next. I'll go ahead and play that interview for you right now.
All right, let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles tennis, being joined on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Coach Ryan Haig. Coach, recording this on Wednesday, a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I've mentioned it a couple times to the coaches. The weather can't decide if it's still summer or if it's about to be fall.
Yeah, it's kind of it's got a mind of its own. There's no doubt. I just wish it would we get a little frost to get rid of some of these little pesky no-see-em bugs that kind of happen to be out on the tennis courts occasionally, and they're getting kind of clingy, and they're biters. So let's get to the fall. That's what I think everybody's favorite season, and that sure would be nice.
Gazelles tennis finished second as a team in the ESD conference meet. That was last couple days. Claimed a pair of singles titles and a doubles title. Nora Kraske played a part in 2 Yankton wins. First place in Flight 1 singles, and then Flight 1 doubles alongside her sister Sabrina. And then looking through, Paige Mitzel claimed the top spot for Yankton in Flight 3 singles. Starting from that and then moving on, Coach, kind of tell us about the team's performance.
Yeah, going into the tournament, we knew that there was going to be kind of a logjam up at the top. We're definitely one of those teams fighting for that top spot, along with Mitchell, Aberdeen, and Watertown. And going in, I kind of did a little bit of the math and just kind of penciled in everything as far as seeds were involved. And had we performed only to our seeds, we would have finished in 4th place. So it tells you that the girls went out and battled hard. Each one of the girls in singles placed at or above their seed. And in doubles, our number 2 singles team, which was the number 2 seed, placed 3rd. And so that's, really just a flip of the coin. But Flight 1 and Flight 3 placed at or above their seed as well. So, it just says that, our girls are starting to peak at the right time of the season because we outperformed our regular season in the ESD tournament. And if we can duplicate or, just improve on that just a little bit next week at the state tournament, big things happen. And, we could, hoping for a podium position at the state tournament here next week. So going back to some of the results, Nora Kraske is a defending champion both in Flight 1 singles and Flight 1 doubles. She's also defending state champion at Flight 1 singles. Obviously a very talented player. Nora just does Nora things, and she knows her way around the court. She knows her opponents very, very well, knows their strengths and weaknesses, and is a smart enough player to take advantage of both. So, congratulations to her. She obviously also helped lead the Flight 1 doubles championship along with her sister Sabrina, a fantastic player in her own right. So we have a very, very formidable lineup at the top of our lineup. There's no doubt about it, with Nora and Sabrina. And then our other singles champion was Paige Mitzel, who at Flight 3, who missed the entire season last year with an injury. And so got to give credit to her. She really worked her tail off trying to prepare herself for this season, knowing that she, missed her entire sophomore year. And she's done a fantastic job. She started out the season very good and has done nothing but get better. And she's a student of the game. She takes coaching very well. And when she can keep her emotions in check, she is a formidable player. And she was able to defeat a young lady from Mitchell in the semifinals, a lady that kind of took it to her a little bit in the dual season. and we lost to her up in Sioux Falls when we dueled Mitchell and Sioux Falls Lincoln. So it's always nice to kind of get one back, especially when it matters the most, which is the postseason. And for her, that was quite an exciting moment. And she used that momentum in the semifinals just to kind of roll into the finals and really just dominated in the finals and just looked fantastic and was able to walk out that Flight 3 ESD Conference Championship. So fantastic job of her. At Flight 4, we had Addison Gordon struggled a little bit on the court. She's been up and down. She's been fighting injury herself all season. It's obviously affected her somewhat. She's a super talented player, but just can't quite get on the 100% healthy side of things. And but she's doing a heck of a job battling out in the court for the team. And so we're really proud of her. She's our lone senior. She's really kind of a big part of the backbone of our team. So we're grateful for the efforts that she's been giving us, especially considering that she's not 100% healthy and she goes out and works every day on the court for the Gazelles. So at Flight 5, we had Kara Kerner, and Kara was I believe an 8 seed, 7 or 8 seed. And, when you get down to 6, 7, and 8 seeds, those guys are not expected to win a match, at the conference tournament. So, when she went in, she lost a tough first round opponent, but then battled hard and got a win and scored points for those teams and for our team. And, those points, every point you score turns out to be a big deal because we knew there was going to be a log jam at the top. And there was, and we were floating around, and we were from 4th to 2nd place the entire tournament. And without those points, those girls go out and get for every battle for it. It could have been a different story. There's no doubt about it. And she went out and got that win on the backside of the bracket, and did a fantastic job for us on singles day. And then we had wrapping up our top 6 is Megan Scott, and same thing with Megan. Megan was actually a play-in match, so she had to play in just to get into the tournament. She won that match, then lost to the number 1 seed, and then won a backside match for us. So coming in the tournament, nobody's expecting her to win matches, and nobody, I would say, except for herself and her coaches and her teammates. So, she's feeling confident right now. She's playing the best tennis of her season right now. And, it couldn't come at a better time for that. And then on our doubles side of things, our number 1 doubles team, again, really the backbone of our team, the strength of our program. Right up top, when you put Nora and Sabrina on a court together, they're certainly a formidable opponent. They're going to go into the state tournament here next week as the number 1 seed in the state. They are undefeated right now and playing very, very well and playing very, very confidently. And that showed at the ESD tournament. So happy with where they're at, but definitely not satisfied. They've got a job to do next week, and they're going to look out and try to bring home a state title as well. At Flight 2 singles, we put Paige Mitzel and Addison Gordon together, and those two kids out there really, really play well together. They understand each other. They know each other's strengths and weaknesses, and they capitalize on those teams do. And those guys went out. They were the number two seed, played a tough match in the semifinal round, and just got edged out there in the semifinals, but battled back hard and again beat a team for 3rd place that had beat them earlier in the year. So it's always nice, like I said, to get that win late in the season, especially when it didn't go your way earlier in the year. And then our Flight 3 doubles team, again, not expected to win a match. And not only did they win a match, they won 2 and brought home the consolation championship. So they lost their first round match and then won 2 straight in a row, to win that backside of the bracket. And really proud of those 2 girls, Megan Scott and Kara Kerner. They played lights out all day. It was a long couple days of tennis. They were tired, and they put that aside and kept that out of their head and focused solely on the job that they had to do. And they went out and got it done. And again, scored some very valuable points for the team. And so, congratulations to those girls, and congratulations to the entire Gazelle team. We're for a fantastic tournament at the ESD tournament. But we know that there's still work to be done, and we're looking forward to a state tournament here in a week.
Yes, congratulations. But you just mentioned the state tournament. Season's not over. It's got Sioux Park and Rapid City. They have some very nice facilities, correct?
Yeah, just pretty much a brand new facility. I think the boys, we played on it in the boys last spring, and I believe that was the first tournament they had held on the brand new facility. So it's a fantastic facility, perfect for tennis tournaments. And the girls will have their first experience here on it here next week, and we're looking forward to it. Rapid City does a fantastic job putting on a state tournament. The hospitality out there is second to none. And, you know, they're going to put on a good show, and the girls are going to put on a good show for everybody that gets to come out and watch.
Well, looking forward to talking to you about it. And as always, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Pizza Ranch phone line.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
All right, thanks to Coach Ryan Haig for joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. And now we turn our attention to Yankton Cross Country. And, well, I caught up with Coach Caitlin Savvy on Wednesday. And then I have some quick results for you from the Sioux City invite from yesterday. So I will have all that coming up here, again, on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach Caitlin Savvy, Yankton Cross Country.
All right, it's time to start talking Yankton Cross Country. Coach Caitlin Savvy joins us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach, we're recording this on Wednesday, a beautiful Wednesday. The weather can't decide if it's still summer or if it wants to be fall.
That's right.
You guys had your Fox Run golf course meet that was on the 26th, the Thursday. We'll get into the results, but overall, the atmosphere, your home meet of the year, how was it for all the athletes and yourself?
Yeah, it was such an awesome day. I just can't start off without thanking all the amazing people that made it happen. We have such a great just support system with Coach Gross and Mr. Morris, and then that Fox Run staff. They were so willing to let us go out early and set up. And then all the teachers that volunteer, the parents that step up. It's just so cool to see, and it really makes the meet happen. And our kids, they definitely thrive on that because we just have more support, more cheering for them. And it's a pretty tough course. It can be deceiving as pretty flat, but there's a couple hills on the backside, and it was a little windy, so they had a straightaway right into it. But they all worked so hard, and I was really proud of both our girls and our guys team last Thursday.
All right, beautiful. And you have one coming up here, well, tomorrow as we're recording this, but we'll play this on Saturday, and then we'll have come and gone. Hopefully I have results to go over, but that's going to be at South Sioux City at Jeffrey, is it Dibble Soccer Complex? Yep. And what's it like running there?
So it's actually going to be a whole new surprise for us this year. They let us know with some of the flooding, they had to redo the course. It is pretty flat out there, but I think
There's
every time we go out there, yes, we might get to stop and take a little break, which would be great because it's always so hot out there, and the wind, there's nothing to block it. So you feel it from all directions.
They just throw that in there last second. Also, there's a 200-meter swim for your athletes. Yep. But, yeah, Coach, you guys are getting into championship season here. I'm looking at the schedule. Obviously, you have the one at Huron, but you have the ESD meet and the state tournament outside of this one Thursday. Season's wrapping up.
Yeah, I was telling the kids, I was like, we got a month left. So those goals that we wrote down at the beginning of the year, this is the time where it's going to take some serious work, a lot of pain, discomfort to make the things happen that we need to reach the goals. And I still believe with all I have that these kids are going to do that just because of the camaraderie that they've had this season so far. And the fact that I don't even think we've ran our best race yet. We still are going to go out there and we're going to have that later in the year.
In the next week or two, that's when you want your athletes to be at their absolute peak performance, right? Kind of physically.
Yeah. Coach Fitzsimmons, he's been a great mentor to me here. Well, I've gotten to get to know him, and he always says ESD, if we're a school in the ESD, we care more about winning that than state. And I don't know if I 100% am on that that mentality yet, but I believe that. And so I'm really excited to see where we'll match up at ESD.
All right, we'll go over the results on Saturday. Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, thanks to Coach Caitlin Savvy for joining us. And their last meet, Ryland Jackson led the race for the girls team, running in front of the pack and attacking the race through the 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts that they were having Abby Johannesson came in second for the girls team, running her best placing of the year so far. Abe Chance led the boys squad, third place finish. And next up for Yankton Cross Country, the ESD meet in Huron on the 12th. And that actually does it for all of our interviews and coaches today. And always appreciate the coaches for taking the time. Of course, the Coaches Corner, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Thanks to Pizza Ranch here in Yankton, providing delicious pizza to our coaches and to us here. And it's a partnership we are really, really thankful for. And coaches really appreciate it as well. So thank you to Yankton Pizza Ranch for legendary chicken and the best pizza. It's Yankton Pizza Ranch. And thanks to, I already said thanks to all the coaches, but especially thanks to you, the listener or a viewer on KYNT and KYNTV. Go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been the Coach's Corner. I'm Bryce Ladwig.